वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरो वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay, so you're looking at sandhi rules, swara sandhi last time. We'll continue with that. Have a little more work to do there. So if you remember last time we saw how the king asked, queen said to the king, Modaka. Modaka was what? Ma udakaihi, not modakaihi. So sandhi is very important. Otherwise we can get it all messed up. And a very important thing for sandhi, more than just the rules, is the ability to spot meaningful words. The ability to spot word endings. Suptingantam padam, that much we should know. So we have to find a subanta. Otherwise you can't split. Just because the pratipadika appears to be there, that may be samasa. So we should know how to split words. Very important. So what have we seen so far in terms of the rules, samhitayam? We have seen iko yanachi. When ik is followed by ach, ik is replaced by yan. What kind of an ach? Now you can modify it if in your mind, okay? If it is followed by a samana, savarna, ach, then you will get savarna dirgha sandhi. So it should be asavarna, right? It should not be an H. Then HOI can apply. So like this, you have to just see, whatever exceptions come, there another rule, but you can see that it won't fit here. All right. And for us, more importantly, when you read a sentence, can we see the words and split them? Whether we can make sandhis ourselves is less important at this point. What is most important is when I read, can I see the individual words? Okay. So HOYavayavaha, iko-yanachi, very important rules. We've seen a lot of them both. Right? Then we saw what? At gunaha. What is at gunaha? When a avarna is followed by ach, then what happens? Guna happens. What kind of an ach again? A followed by a will not give you guna. Correct? And a followed by a, what will happen? A or I? Avarna followed by a or I? Vriddhi will happen. Because the rule is vriddhirechi. At is common. At gunaha, at vriddhihi. One is echi, one is achi. Yeah. So once you know that, now you know vriddhi should not happen. Savarna dirgha sandhi should not happen. Then what will remain is where guna will take place. Yeah. So this much we have seen. Then what else did we see last time? We saw the purva rupa sandhi and the para rupa sandhi. So what was the example of, what is shivo aham? Shivoham. Purva rupa or para rupa?
Purva rupa.
Purva rupa. Good. O always remains as O. Purva rupa sandhi. Shivoham. So that, what is the sutra? Engaha padantat ati. Padantat engaha. When there is an eng, what is eng? A, O. When there is a word, a pada ending in A or O, and it is followed by a hrasva akara, at, ati, purvarupaha adesha. Example, shivoham. Okay? Pararupa, not that significant. We saw what? When you have a avarnanta upasarga, right? Followed by H, then pararupa happens. But it has exceptions. So not very significant rule for us, but we did look at it last time. Okay. So now want to look at, let me share my screen. Now I want to look at one more rule, which the sutra is called Lopah Shakalyasya. Oh, 1 second, I haven't shared it. Huh? Give me a second. I've just opened it myself. Sorry. Not being alert. Share. See my screen now?
No, Swamiji, not yet.
Oh, why? What happened? Funny. Thought I shared. Okay. Okay. Now you will see it. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So the rule is called Lopah Shakalyasya. And you will find Padacheda is what? Lopaha. And another word is what? Shakalyasya. Now don't think this is Thani, okay? Shakalya will be replaced by Lopa. No. Shakalya is the name of an Acharya. Okay? So in the view of Shakalya, as per Shakalya Acharya, Lopa will happen. That's what it means. Don't think this Shashti means Sthani. Sthani is the last option, okay? It should exhaust other possibilities. This is Sambandha Shashti. So, what is Anuvritti? We have not seen this section, so you won't be familiar. Don't worry about it. Bho, bhago, agho, apurvasya, ashi, vyoho. These are the Anuvrittis. Ignore these three fellows for now. Ignore these three fellows for now. What do I want you to remember? Apurvasya. Apurvasya. What is apurva? I'm deliberately not saying apurva. I'm saying apurvasya. Note. That which is preceded by an avarna. A purvaha yasmat. A avarna. A is avarna. If it's just short a, it'll say at. If it's long, if dirgha a, it'll say a or at. So when it says a, keep in mind it is avarna. So apurvasya means what? That which is preceded by an avarna. What is preceded by an avarna? Vyoho. Vyoho. See, this is 6-1. This is what? 6-2. Okay? 6-2. So this vyoho, this 6-2 is the sthani. Okay? And it is running an adhikara called padasya. Padasya. Now you have 6-1 and you have 6-2. Are you with me? 6-2 is vyoho, padasya is 6-1. Now, even though the number is different, they are still, one is an adjective, one is a noun. So now what happens? You have to apply tadanta vidhi. What will happen? Padantasya vyoho, or convert the number. Padantayoho vyoho. Are you with me? Padantayoho vyoho. What is vyoho? Vakarascha yakarascha vyau tayoho. Vakara and yakara are vya, vyau. Itaretar dvandva. Like Rama Lakshmana. Then you put 6 case, what do you get? Vyoho. Vakara, yakarayoho. What kind of vakara, yakara? That which is at the end of a pada. A vakara or a yakara, which is at the end of a pada, which is further qualified as what? Apurvasya. Should be preceded by an avarna. You have padanta yakara vakara preceded by a avarna. Followed by what? Followed by what? Somebody can tell me by looking at this anuvrittis.
Ashi.
Ashi. Therefore, followed by what?
Ash.
Correct. Ash. Followed by ash. What is ash? Shouldn't forget my Shustra. What is ash? I won't go on, right? Look, up to where will you go? Jabagadadash. You'll go up to Jabagadadash. See, when you go to Jabagadadash, what should you remember now? The way it's organized is what? You start with the vowels, ach, right? Then what do you have? Haya, varat, lan, etc., right? Haya, varala, leave the ha. Ya, varala, you get there. Ha comes 2 times. Semi-vowels have come. Then what comes after semi-vowels?
Fifth of the class.
The consonants, right? Nyamagananam, Nyamagananam, 5th of the class. Then what? 4th of the class.
Fourth of
Then
the
what? 3rd of the
Third.
class. Then 2nd of the class.
second.
Then 1st of the class. Correct? Therefore, if I say Jash, Shah, that's Shah, where does it end? Up to the 3rd of the class. So what left out? 1st and 2nd and the Ushma. Shasha, Sar, Hal. Shasha, Saha are remaining. That's how you can understand Ash. So what will they normally say? Vowels and soft consonants. That's a very typical way of saying it. Vowels and soft consonant. But when we say Ash, the map should come. What should it exclude? What should it include? Sometimes it is easier to remember something as inclusive. Sometimes it is easier to remember as exclusive. What it excludes. Okay. So all this should occur in our head. Ash. So when an ash letter follows what? A padanta, vakara or yakara, which is immediately preceded by an avarna. Then what happens? Somebody, whoever has not muted yourself, please make sure your speaker is off, okay? Otherwise it disturbs, it brings echoes. So when that happens, what is adesha? Lopaha. What does lopaha mean?
Adarshanam lopa.
Adarshanam lopaha. Very good. Adarshanam lopaha. What does it mean? It's not seen. Means what? In English, they translate it's elided. Elision means dropping, really. Okay? So, now, you put everything together now. Anuvritti sahitam, what is it? Padasya apurvayoho vyoho ashi shakalyasya lopaha. Don't think shakalyasya lopaha, okay? It is vyoho lopaha, natu shakalyasya lopaha. Okay? This is a simple vritti. Now what? You apply Tadanta Vidhi. Samhitayam. Padasya becomes Padantayoho. Vyoho. What is Vyoho? Yakara, Vakara, Yoho. Are you with me? What is it? Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, if we do a samasa of v and ya, vakara and yakara,
Yeah.
won't that be, I mean, it'll be via yoho. I mean, this will be v with in 6-2 will become vyoho, I thought.
Vya. You have to take Vya.
Okay. Vya would still be akaranta.
True, but you need at least one vowel to make it pronounceable, okay?
Okay.
You cannot have a word without a vowel. Ucharanartha we have to add. Like we say akara. Suppose I want to say ka. Without a, how will you say ka? You will say ka. Ka means ka plus a. Or I have to say kakara. There also one a will come. Understand? So it is pronunciation. All right. So let's see. Let us look at what Prathamavarti says here. Okay. So here you can see, did he do samasa or no? Oh, he also comfortably dropped samasa in this case. Okay. But samasa is that. Vascha, vakarascha, yakarascha. Vascha, yascha. Vya. Vyau. I'll say vyau. Vascha, yascha, vyau. Are you with me? I'll show you more clearly if it's not clear. Okay. See, now what is happening here is you're having the word vyau. Give me a second. Vyoho is the word. Sorry. Vyoho is the word. We are trying to understand this, right? And if I tell you, if you take the word pratipadika, if it is vya, akaranta, what will it become? 6-2, like Ramayoho. Huh?
Vyayoho.
One second. Vya, okay, you'll get a second one. That's what you're pointing out. Give me a second. So if you take, okay, actually we don't, okay, if you just take vya, then what will happen? Os will come. Marutoho. That's what you'll get. Sorry. So not, you're right. I mean, it won't work. Vyayoho you'll get. You get vakara, yakara, vya. Halanta. Now you add one, you'll get vyoho. But that vya won't be pronounceable. See, normally we'll add something. Here it's not added. What Panini Maharaj does, we don't know. Whatever occurs to him, he will do. But the idea is this. So samasa will be what? Va, cha, ya, cha. Here also you should remove the halanta. Yeah, remove the swara. Va, cha, ya, cha will become what? Vya. Can't pronounce, okay? Then you add to that os. 6 case double dual. You will get vyoho. Vyos is vyoho. So it is a itara itara dvondo samasa. Right? Okay. So now what? Samhitayam. Normally this is ignored by most people, okay? We just don't say it. That's why you will not find in the vrittis typically. But if you are particular, it's a good idea to have it. Shows it's sandhi rule. Samhitayam. Padasya became padantasya. Then you make it dual. Padantayoho. Vyoho. And what is the nature? Avarna purvayoho. That is the apurvasya in dual. Avarna purvayoho lopaha. That is the basic sutra. When ashi. What is ashi? Ashi parataha. When shakalyasya. What is shakalyasya? Shakalyasya acharyasya matena. Mata means his view. In the view of Shakalya Acharya, Shakalya is, Panini is giving respect to a Purva Acharya who preceded him and says Shakalya is a great grammarian, and in his view, this lopa of a final yakara or vakara, final padanta, okay, can happen or will happen if it is preceded by an avarna and followed by an ash. So what do you mean by saying it's in the view of Shakalya, which means Panini does not think so. But he does not fight it. He says, all right, in the language it's there. There are big acharyas, allow it. But I don't think it's necessary. Kind of view, okay? See, he's doing two things. He's saying this is coming from historically. This is how the language is. And it's been allowed. We'll also allow it. But it is allowed by saying Shakalya, which means there may be other acharyas who don't accept it, not just Panini. It's not universal. Some people say it will be dropped. Some people say it won't be dropped. Therefore, both are okay. If he dropped the word Shakalyasya, means it is my rule and my Vyakarana, means you have to drop. By saying Shakalyasya, what does it mean? Some teachers agree, some don't. Both are okay. Therefore, what does it become? Optionally. So when we see a teacher's name, we say it normally what? Optionally. Because it's not universal. Sometimes Panini will say Hali Sarvesham, for example. Sarvesham means what? Sarvesham Acharyanam Mate. Then there is no choice. So whether he gives name of one Acharya or two Acharyas or three, you will have a choice. If he says all Acharyas, no choice. It's universal. Or he does not give an Acharya's name, universal. If he puts an Acharya's name, what? Optional ityartha. Whether you remember Acharya's name or not, it is optional. Other way to make it optional is he will use a couple of words like va. Okay? Va. Or he can say what? He can say anyatarasyam or vikalpena. These are all words which mean the same. Okay? So these are all options. So here the option is through the name of an Acharya. So in this way, Acharya Panini is giving respect to his previous Acharya, mentioning his name and also saying this allowed in the language. Okay? So in a sandhi situation, a padanta vakara or a padanta yakara immediately preceded by an avarna, which is what? Akara or akara, will be elided in the opinion of an acharya by name Shakalya. Okay? When the sutra presents the view of some acharya, it means the rule is optional. Okay? Shakalya grahanam vibhashartham. Another word, vibhasha means na va iti vibhasha. That's a sutra. Na va iti vibhasha. No or option. Sometimes you say no, sometimes you say okay. Option. Na va iti vibhasha. So vibhasha means optional. So Shakalya Grahanam, the word Shakalya is mentioned. Reference to Shakalya is to indicate optionality of the rule. Who says this? Siddhanta Kaumudikara says this in his Vritti. Okay. Now you will find ashtadhyayi.com presents this as a Vritti, simple Vritti. We have understood the meaning now. But he gives it slightly differently. Avarnat, Parasya, nothing wrong. But you did not see an Avarnat Parasya 6th case. You saw Apurvasya. Right? But he renamed it, he reworded it. He said Avarnat, like 5th case as though. Avarnat Parasya, Padanta Vakarasya, Padanta Yakarasya cha, Samhitayam, Ashvarne Pare, Shakalyasya Matena Lopah Bhavati. And he said, Shakalyasya Matena Ityukte Vikalpena. This is how the author of the Ashtadhyay.com presents a simple meaning. It's a good way to look at it. However you want. See, ultimately you should understand what. You forget all this, you should remember this rule, okay? Finally, that's what matters. If sutra helps you, remember sutra. If not, you don't worry about it. But I am giving sutras so that you know how to unlock sutras all the way, not just here. Okay? So sutra is not the most important thing. Understanding is more important. But sutra should make it, if it makes it easier for me to get the whole system, it's worth the effort. Okay? All right. So I just presented this to you, okay? This is how Siddhanta Kaumudikara says, Purvatra Siddham iti Lopashastrasya asiddhatvat na swarasandhihi. Okay. Now I'll explain this to you. Now what happens here, we haven't seen examples. The example will come back. Asmai uddhara. What does this mean to you? Asmai uddhara. Suppose I say Asmai hara, leave uddhara. Asmai hara. What will you understand? Translate for me. Hara. What is hara? What kind of word is it? Hara.
Take away.
Harsha?
Dhatu in Lotlakara, Tvam Hara.
Good. Very good. Hara. So now Asmai Hara. Hara means what? Good. Dhatu meaning is correct. Dhatu is correct. So Hr, to take away. Asmaihara means what? Kind of take him away. It should have been second case. Fourth case is here. Don't worry about it. Okay. Asmai is what? Fourth case singular. Asmaihara. What is Udhara? Take him up. Means what? Help him. Lift him up. Asmai Udhara. Lift him up. Now what happens? Asmai is I. Asmai Udhara. What sandhi do you know will apply? What will happen? Rule known to you.
Aicho ayavayavaha.
Echo ayavayavaha. Because not Echo. Echo. Okay. I followed by U. What will happen to I? I. So what will you get? Asmai Udhara. You will get, there will be two words. Asmai Udhara. Correct? Are you with me so far? How many words are here? How many words are here? Two. What is the padanta of the first word? Yakara. Padanta yakara is there. Are you seeing it? Followed by what? U. Is it ash? Ash means vowel plus soft consonant. Simple way to look at it. Okay. Then, is it preceded by a avarna? Yes. Therefore, what's the rule? New rule going to say now? Optionally, yakara can go. If it goes, what will you get? Asma Uddhara. What case is for? What is asma now? There is no such word in the language, okay? There is no word asma. What is asma Uddhara? It is asmai Uddhara. Unless you break sandhi, you won't know what to do with it. Asma Uddhara. Suppose this is the way it is. Optional you don't use. How will you write it? You won't write like this. Sir, you won't write like this. How will you write? You will write like this. Is it not? This doesn't show anything except that the words are written together. The two words are there. Asmai Uddhara. This is not a compound. You can write like this or you can write like this. But generally, how do people write in the books? They will write like this. But this is exactly the same as this. But what about this, sir? This is not the same. Now, you tell me, based on rules you know, what should happen now? Asma Uddhara. Avarna is there, followed by a vowel. Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, guna sandhi will happen.
So what should you get?
Asmodhara.
Asmodhara. But that is not to happen. That will not happen, should not happen. Okay? How does it not happen? Panini Maharaj has a rule for it. That is called asiddhatvam. Okay? What does asiddha mean? The word asiddha means it is not established. Okay? So if you look in the Paninian parlance, that siddha means what? Proven, established, prepared, accomplished. Good word, accomplished. Already accomplished. Like in Vedanta also is what? Siddha Vishaya, Sadhya Vishaya. Siddham means accomplished. Alright. Now, this asma, that yakara's vanishing, is it siddha or not? When you make it asma uddhara, it is siddha. But Panini says, I am the maker of the rules, and I have a mechanism by which I will tell you what is done by certain operations may not be visible to other sutras. From the view of the other sutras, certain changes that have been wrought, which have been brought about by one sutra, may not be available to others to see. It's a very typical way in the IT world. Certain things can see, certain things cannot see. So if you're declaring a variable in a program, you can make it global, you can make it local, you can make it automatic. You have so many ways of dealing with it. Panini knows all about it very well. So what does he do now? He just makes a certain section as asiddham. This is a good concept, okay, in Panini. This has no meaning in the language. It is purely grammar, okay? So he says, if we go and look in Panini's Ashtadhyayi, sorry, he has one word, one rule, which is 821, okay, which will say purvatra asiddham. Okay, we are almost there. Since I'm going slowly. Yeah. You see this? Purvatra asiddham. How far is Anuvritti going? 8468. Don't remember 8468. What should you remember? 84 end. 68 is number. Don't worry about it. 84 end is the right way to remember. From the beginning of the second quarter, second pada of the Ashtadhyayi, up to the end of the Ashtadhyayi, whatever is said is asiddham. Where? Purvatra. Purvatra means what? Before that sutra. So, if you look at this sutra's work is not visible to this fellow. Okay? But it is visible to this fellow. You understand? So, 82, 22 to 84 and everybody can see this fellow's work. Achieve Bhasha. But 8 to 20 and preceding, nobody knows about it. So what is the effect now? Now, this sutra which we are looking at is 8319. Number is 8319. Is it in the section or not? Is it between 82 and 84 or not? It is. Therefore, any operation done by 8319 will not be visible to whom? Everyone preceding 8319. Now, we saw that guna should happen. Asma uddhara should become asmodhara. What is guna sutra's rule? What is the rule? Ad gunaha. What is ad gunaha rule number? Swami, we don't remember. Do you remember the section?
Sixth section.
Good. Sixth chapter. 6-1.
Sixth.
That much you remember. 6-1. Now, is it before 8 or not? It is. Therefore, can it see this change? No. When ad gunaha tries to work on this, what will it see? It will still see asmai uddhara. It won't see the yakara gone. Because yakara dropping is accomplished by somebody in the 8-3, in the Purvatra Siddha section. Is this making sense? Is this making sense to all of you? This is an important concept, okay? To say that any operation done in the rules from 8 to 1 to the end of the Ashtadhyayi, those rules are not visible to what precedes them. Whole 7 chapters plus 1. See, 7 chapters is 7 adhyayas. And 8 chapter, 1 quarter. Okay? Saptadhyaya is 7 chapters. Pada is 1 quarter. So that section from beginning to 8-1 end is called Sapada Saptadhyayi. Sapada, along with 1 quarter. Saptadhyaya, 7 chapters plus 1 quarter is called what? Sapada Saptadhyaya. Are you clear? Not difficult. What we're saying? 7 and a quarter. Which 7 and a quarter? 7 chapters plus first quarter of 8th. What are remaining now? 3 quarters. What is number 3 in Sanskritam? 3 only. 3 is 3, okay? So, tripadi. 3 quarters. Tripadi. Sapad Saptadhyayi and Tripadi. Divided Ashtadhyayi in 2 ways now. In twofold way. One is 7 1/4, last is 3 quarters. The 3 quarters job is not available to the 7 1/4. It is sequential. Remember, if you don't know sutra numbers, this rule is of no use to you. So either you remember sutra numbers or at least write it in Tripadi or in trouble. If you only remember Tripadi, it is useful to negate its visibility in the first 7 chapters. But you don't know in the Tripadi who can see it. You don't know. So what should you know? You should know GPS, okay? Precise sutra number you have to know to get full benefit of Panini's Sutra Patha. Understand? And this is a very significant thing because a lot of Vyanjana and Visarga Sandhis, most of them are sitting in the Tripadi. And therefore, we have to go in sequence because what is done by later fellow is not available to the preceding fellow. You can't apply later rule first and come back to the preceding. If you apply a later rule first, 2 rules are applicable at the same time. If you apply the later rule first, then the previous rule will never get a chance. Why? Because the later rule's operation is invisible to the preceding fellow. Therefore, when it comes to Tripadi, you have to make sure any rule which is applicable earlier must apply first. Becomes important. So you see, Panini never expected his Ashtadhyayi to be forgotten. You have to know it. Otherwise, his rules cannot be really used effectively. But what did people do? They made a prakriya, Siddhanta Kaumudi, excellent prakriya. But then people who wrote, the great scholar who wrote Siddhanta Kaumudi knew Ashtadhyayi like the back of his hand. He helped people who don't know it like a back of a hand. But then people said, we'll hold on to only you. Then they will lose Ashtadhyayi. Then they will carry the burden of remembering a lot more than they can. They think we're skipping, avoiding memorizing few sutras, but you have to remember a lot more then. So this Purvatra Siddham is a very significant method employed by Panini. And he does it in 3 sections in Ashtadhyayi, not 1. But this is the most significant one there. And what is the impact? When you see 2 vowels which seemingly should participate in a guna sandhi or some other sandhi, there is no sandhi happening. You only write and say. You don't even pronounce asma, asmodhara. You always say asma uddhara. Right? Why don't you say asmodhara? That is the right way to say. No, you can't say. Why? Because you cannot make sandhi. So when you see a sandhi not happening, it should tell you something has happened here. And that something is probably not visible to the fellow who can bring about that change. Sandhi. Are you with me? Is this somewhat clear? This is important to know that what is done in Ashtadhyayi, so Tripadi, is not visible to 7 1/4. And within the Tripadi, what is done by a later sutra is not preceding available to the prior sutra. Exceptions are there, but this is the rule. Clear? Very important to know as a concept in Ashtadhyayi. Okay? All right. Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, this word asmai in fourth case, asmad shabda becomes mahyam me. But where does asmai come from? What is is that a separate pratipadika which
How
becomes?
will idam go? Huh? You are thinking Rasmat, it is not. I am avam. It is not aham avam. It is what? I am.
It is idam. I am. This.
Correct. Idam is this. I'm giving Pratipadika. Pullinga will be I am, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How will it go?
I am, imau, ime.
Then imam, imau, iman. Anena abhyam ebi. Then what?
Asmai.
Asmai. Asmai
Abhyam.
abhyam. The way to remember is remember Sarvanama.
Hmm.
It is Sarvanama. So Sarva, how will it require? How will it decline? Sarvasmai,
Yeah.
Sarvasmat, Sarvesham. Good, Gitika. Thank you. So Sarvesham, these are changes. See, between Rama Shabda and Sarvanama Shabda, these are the changes. If you remember long ago in the references I gave you, how to memorize Sarvanama Shabda. If you go back and look at our spreadsheet for Sarvanama, you will see Sarvanama is same as Rama, Adanta, Akaranta, Pullinga. You add to it a few changes. Smat, Sminau. There are a couple of sutras, okay? So
Yeah.
there is Smai, there is Smat, there is Smin, Sarvasmin. Okay, so that's how it is. All right. So this Purvatra Siddham is applying here, and it will apply in many more cases when we see later. But though this is not part of, really strictly part of the Swarasandhi, you should know that although it looks like Swarasandhi should happen, it won't happen, and the language uses it. It doesn't care whether it's an Ashtadhyayi, okay? This is how the language is. So it's good to know this rule so that you don't get confused. How Asmai Uddhara becomes Asma Uddhara, you don't know. That you should know. And after Asma Uddhara, why it won't again participate in Gunasandhi, you should know. That's the reason I have pulled it here. Otherwise, as sequence, I wouldn't put it here. But useful for us, very useful for us. Okay? All right. So now let us go back to where we were. Asmai Uddhara. Dvau Atra. Dvau Atra. What will happen? I have given all examples HOIYavaha, okay? Fact is, this is not the only possibility for Lopa Shakalyasya. Lopa Shakalyasya has its scope in Visarga Sandhi, later we'll see. Because Ash follows. See, if it is only for HOIYavaha, it should say what? It should say when Ach follows. Echaha Achi Ayavayavaha. Ach is enough. Why Ash? Something more. But in the rules we know so far, we know only HOIYavaha. Relevant here, which will make a word end in yakara or vakara. Aya, ava, aya, ava. Therefore, I'm giving examples from there. Okay. Asau adityaha. What will it become? Asav adityaha. So here, since the sutra we are highlighting is Lopa Shakalya, that is given first. And the form without dropping is given later. Asava adityaha. Note there are two words, not one. Okay. Padanta yakara vakara we need. Hare ehi. What does it mean? Hare ehi. Someone tell me. What case and number? Not difficult. Hare. What case and number?
Sambodhana.
Sambodhana. Hare ehi. What is ehi? He you're saying. What does it tell you? Yes, Deepti.
It's 2-1.
Which lakara?
Lot lakara.
Lot lakara, madhyama purusha, ekavachana. Wherever you see he, general, first guess. So what is ehi?
Come.
Come. Hare ehi. Eh Hari, please come. That's all it means. But what will happen now? Sandhi. Harai ehi. HOIYavaha. Then what will happen after that? Drop the akara. Hara ehi. Are you calling Hari or Hara?
Hari.
Example is Hare ehi, okay? Not
Hari.
Hara ehi. Hara ehi also will be okay. Hey Hara ehi. No problem. If you say Hara ehi, what will happen?
Harehi.
Now Sandhi will take place because nothing has caused anything to drop. Not Harehi. Hara ehi, what will it become? Vriddhi. Correct? Vriddhi rechi. should apply. So by looking at hara ehi, you should know what? It is not hara, it is hari. Get the point? So the pratipadika, you can think hara is also pratipadika. Swamiji, it's hara ehi means hara come. No. Hey, hari you come. That's what it means. Okay. Now, Vishnu iha. What does it mean? Vishnu. What is it? What case and number?
Sambodha.
Sambodhana. Vishnu iha. What will it become?
Vishnaviha.
Vishnu iha. What is the rule? Vakara is padanta. Vakara. Preceded by avarna. Followed by ash. What will happen? Vishna iha. Okay? Shriyai udyataha. Shriyai. What is it? Someone tell me. Shriyai. Yes, Deepti.
It's 4-1
Of
of Shri.
Shri. Ikaranta strilinga. Like Nadi. So Shriyai udyataha. What is udyataha? Tasil. Very likely to be tasil. Okay? Striving for. Okay. Shriyai udyataha. What will become now? Shriyai udyataha. And what will become? Shriya udyataha. The giveaway is a and u. No gunasandhi is happening. A and e. No gunasandhi. A and a. No vriddhi sandhi. A and a. No savarna dirgha sandhi. No sandhi is happening, though it looks like it should happen because of asiddhatvam, of all those rules. Because they're all in 6-1, this is in 8-3. This is only grammatical, okay? This is how the language is. Why is it like this? Don't say because asiddha. This is how the language is. Panini explains it through this mechanism. Gurau utkaha. Gurau utkaha becomes gura utkaha. Okay. Now, here's something you have to work on now. Yatova imani bhutani jayante. What is this? Yatova imani. What does va mean? Or? No. What is va?
It's Vai.
Correct. How do you know it's why? Correct. How do you know it's why? Why not way? That's the question. Why not way? Can you tell? You should be able to tell. The answer you know. It's not unknown to you.
Because guna is not happening.
No, no. Suppose it is va are. I'm sorry, it is va imani. Then also guna won't happen, right? But you have va. When you will get I you will get if it is a. When you will get I, won't even have I. Therefore, it must be y. That's all I'm trying to show you, okay? That you should be able to justify why y. Why not va? Why not way? That's all. Okay? So, yato va. Yato y means prasiddha. A lot of examples. Atma va are shrotavyaha. If you don't know this rule and you think y is an avyaya, which means or atma should be heard, you don't have to hear also otherwise. You get an optionality. Va means or. That's an avyaya. Like, you want to go by car or by flight. Car va, plane va. That is va. Vikalpa. But it's not that. It is why. Atma va are shrotavyaha. What should it be? Meaning, Atma vai are shrotavyaha. Prano va annam. Prano is pranaha. Another sandhi rule you have to see later. Okay? Prano vai annam. Prana is annam. Prasiddha. Yatra va anyadiva syat. What is that? Yatra vai. All examples from Upanishads, okay? Trayam va idam, we're going to see this shortly. Trayam va idam namarupam karma. Brihadaranyaka 1.6. What is Trayam va idam? Trayam vai idam. Typically, in the Upanishads, you will find this lopasha kalyasya will be applied. And generally seems to happen when you have this va ending. And sometimes in ya it doesn't do it. I don't remember examples, but I had noticed it long ago. Both are possible. Okay. Brahmava idamagra asit. How many times we have seen this in Brihadaranyaka? What is it? Not va. Why? Famous Brahman, well known in Shastra. Brahmavai idamagra asit. See, idamagra asit. What is this? What is agra asit?
Agre asit.
Agre asit and not agre. Agre asit. How do you know? Because agra, not agra. Correct? Taking only HOI into consideration, okay? Then, yo va etadaksharam gargi aviditva. Some sentence. Yo va etat. What is va etat? Why? What is gargi aviditva? Gargi aviditva. What sandhi is happening?
Iko yanachi.
Eko and achi. Ik is being replaced by ya. Gargyaviditva. You should be able to see this, okay? Then, atho ayam va atma sarvesham bhutanam lokaha. Does it ring a bell? We saw this recently. 1.6. 1.4.16. Not 1.6, 1.4.16. Brihadaranyaka. Ayam va atma. What is va atma? Why? Sarvesham bhutanam lokaha. Atha yo hava asmat lokat swam lokam adrishtva praiti. Does it ring a bell? Praiti. What is happening? Praiti. Pra plus ati. What should happen? Pra plus ati. Pra is an upasarga. What should have happened? Yes, Deepti.
It's vriddhi happening.
What should have happened? By the general rule, pararupam should have happened. But that ati, I remember I showed vaguely, you may not remember. Ati and edha, the two dhatus, their vriddhi will happen. It was a purva apavada for pararupa. Example, I'm just showing you. Praiti. Otherwise, you would have said what? Preti. No, praiti. How did it become? Vriddhirechi is applying. Swamiji, vriddhirechi is clear. It is clear only if you didn't know the sutra in between. If you knew the sutra in between of the upasarga rule, then this will not look correct to you. Sometimes, half knowledge is very convenient. If you only know vriddhirechi, this will look not an exception, it's perfectly all right. But this is an exception to an exception. No, that's how it is. Lokam adrishtva. What is lokam adrishtva? How many words are here? 2. What are the 2 words?
Lokam adrishtva.
Lokam adrishtva. Is it sandhi? No, it's just written together. Don't confuse written together with sandhi. There's no sandhi. Don't say Swamiji, lokam adrishtva is sandhi. No. Lokam adrishtva is already there. You don't need to break anything. Only head will break if you try to break it. Asmat lokat swam lokam adrishtva. How many words are here? Asmat lokat swam. Okay. Now, asmat lokat became what? Asmal lokat. That's a sandhi. Torli. We'll see it later. Okay. One sandhi will happen. Here, our example is what? Yo hava. Hava. Asmat. Va asmat is what? Yo havai. Prasiddham. One who leaves this Atmaloka without seeing this Atmaloka. Adrishtva. One who goes. Sakripanaha. He wasted his life. Atho ayam va atma. What is it? Ayam vai atma. Purusho va akshitihi. All these I'm giving from Brihadaranyaka, okay? Just did a search in Brihadaranyaka. So, Purusho va akshitihi. What should it be? Purusho vai akshitihi. It's all example. But just because you've seen all these, wherever you say va, don't make it vai, you'll be in trouble. Make sure the rules are followed. What are the rules? Padanta yakara vakara preceded by an avarna and immediately followed by an ash. If that is not there and you use the rule, you will be in trouble. Why is a valid word and it is used? Suppose I say annam va pranam va. I don't make it why. Won't work. Okay. Even here, I say, prano va annam. It could have been otherwise too. Contextually only you have to see. Then, yo va etam akshitim akshaya hetum yathoktam veda. Va etam. Example. And how many words are here? 2. Is there any sandhi happening? No. Etam akshitim. What about here? Akshaya hetum. How many words? 1. Good. How do you know 1? Only one supratyaya is there. Hetum. Akshaya should have been akshayaha, akshayo, akshayaha, etc. No ending. Therefore, akshaya hetum. Yathoktam. How many words? Good. Could be. Can be a compound also sometimes. Okay. Uktam anatikramya yathoktam. It's a compound. Could be yatha uktam also. Possibilities exist. Okay. Both are all right. So, eta eva. What is eta eva? Vang manaf pranaha. What sandhi do you see here? Huh?
Mano, Vang Mano.
No. Okay. What about eta eva? Is there a sandhi or no?
Yataiva.
Huh? Split it properly.
It should be ete eva.
Ete eva. Correct. And how do you know? Now, if you took ete, what is ete case and number?
2. Dual.
Carefully. Possible. Dual in which gender? Dual in which gender? Ete will be dual in which gender?
Will be strilinga.
Or in napumsakalinga. What is the next word here? Vang manaf pranaha.
Oh.
What gender is this?
So that will be masculine and it will be plural.
Plural. So what is the ete here going to be?
Plural.
Plural. Which gender?
Pullinga.
Good. So esha, etau, ete. That's the ete there. How do you know? Why not two? Why not dual? Because pranaha won't fit in. Okay. So I'm saying you have a consistency check. It's like a checksum, You can check right there what's going on sometimes. Not always. Sometimes. Yes, Deepti?
Swamiji, I put dual because I thought it's Vang Manaha. It's Manaha is there. That's
Vang manaf pranaha. See, I think it's actually, as far as I know, it's a compound. We can double check it. But Vang manaf pranaha is one thing. Suppose it is Vang manaha. Let's take your case, okay? Suppose it is Vang manaha. It's a compound as per you. Correct?
yes, yes.
What kind of compound will it be? Itara itara dvandva?
Yes.
Okay. Then Vang manas. What is manas is the ending. Dual, if you take, what should it be?
Manasi,
it's-
manasi, manansi.
Good. So what should the word have been?
Manasi.
Ete eva Vang manasi. Right? And pranaha will happen to, what will happen to pranaha? It will hang around. with no one to connect. Therefore, it has to be what we said.
Okay.
Vakcha, manascha, pranascha, vangmanaf prana. Then it will fit.
Thank you.
Good question. Good question. Thank you. Yeah. Prano va amritam. What is it? Prano vai amritam. What is this? Usha va ashvasya. First mantra of Brihadaranyaka. 1-1. So Usha vai. Okay. Sa va esha devata dur nama. Sa va esha. What is va esha? Vai esha. Sa vai esha devata dur nama. Duram hava asmat mrityur bhavati. How many words here? What are they? Tell me.
Asmat
Then,
mrityuhu bhavati.
correct? Good. 3 words. Then where is the sandhi happening there?
Asmat and
Asman mrityuhu. Asmat became asman. That's a sandhi. But if you break the sandhi, you'll get what? Asmat mrityuhu bhavati. Okay? Mrityuhu bhavati, mrityur bhavati is sandhi. You have to break. It's not just written together. There is sandhi. So you should know when there is sandhi, when there is not. Okay? Duram hava asman mrityu bhavati. Prano va anganam rasaha. Angirasa name is being derived, okay? Prano va anganam rasaha. Why? So I just gave you example because there are so many examples of this in the Shastra. You will see it very commonly. So good to be aware of this, that when you see 2 vowels not forming a sandhi, be alert. Maybe it's something else. Okay? Is this clear? I've just taken time to give you a lot of examples. Hopefully the rule has gone into your head. Yes, Harsha.
Swami, I noticed that there were some non-sandhi cases where words are joined together. So theoretically, in a sentence, would it be possible to
No,
string
like what? Like what? Here you saw examples or elsewhere you're saying?
here in this? There was one case where there was no sandhi, 2 separate words, but
Yeah,
could
look at this. Look at this.
lokam adrishtva.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of example you're talking about, right?
So can you extend it? Can, in a sentence, if I have multiple words without
Yeah.
space, can I just...
That is how the old manuscripts look like. They are deadly. You look at them, you don't know what to start and where to end. You can't read. It'll be one whole sentence, will be one word looks like. You have to know. Go and look at some old manuscript of Lalita Sahasranam, Vishnu Sahasranam, you'll find that problem. You won't know where to read. It's not easy at all. Probably because they had to fit it on leaves, they would fit everything in. So you could literally do this, See now, atho ayam. Can you combine them? Atho ayam. O, a. What should have happened? O
Like
followed by a?
Shivo. Like
Huh?
Shivam. Avagraha we can put it.
Ha. Possible. Right? That's a possibility. But then what would happen? Sandhi would happen. A would go away. You can't write them together directly. Something would happen. Then ayam va. Can you put them together? You sure can. Nothing will stop you. Va atma. Can you combine them together? No. Because vai atma, you can't combine them together. You can't write them together. You're in trouble. You have to separate. Okay? Atma sarvesham. Can you combine? Sure you can. It doesn't mean it's a compound. You just combine. Sarvesham bhutanam. Can you combine? Sure you can combine. Bhutanam loka. Can you combine? Sure you can combine. So what all you can combine now? That you cannot combine. That you can combine. And here, if you want, you have to drop the a. So it can become what? It can become without a vagraha. Right? So now how will you read this? You have to read Atho ayam va atma sarvesham bhutanam lokah. That's how you read it. This is what is called sandhi vicheda. You have to know where the word boundaries are. To some extent, we have to know language. See, typically in a Sanskrit grammar session, Laghu, etc., begins with sandhi because they assume you know the language and you're just coming for the grammar now. When we modern age fellows go for grammar without knowing language, you neither understand sandhi nor you understand language. You get stuck there. That's why it's a good idea if you're teaching someone, start with language. Don't start with sandhi. Poor fellow will neither be here nor there. Okay? So that's the idea. So good to know what to do with these things. So I normally split a lot of words for you in my class so that I don't have to worry in sandhi. Till now I have kept splitting because I have not taught you sandhi. Because I feel there's much more you learn of the language than just sandhi rules. Sandhi you come to now. You have a meaning, you have the words in your head. Now sandhi makes more sense to you also. Okay? So this is all one set of rules. This Puratra Siddham we stop. Okay? Means not known in previous sutras. The word Asiddham I have explained here from a dictionary. Okay? Nothing from me. It comes from what is called as Vyakarana Kosha. There's a dictionary of Sanskrit grammar. Very beautiful dictionary. And you will find it when you search in our ashtadhyay.com. You don't have to go far. Look for the word Asiddham. It will give you all this nicely. So what does it say? It means Asiddha means what? Invalid. Of suspended validity for a time being. Not functioning for a time being. Okay? Asiddha means unaccomplished, but here the meaning is time being. The term is frequently used in Panini's system of grammar in connection with rules or operations which are prevented or held in suspense in connection with their application, the process of formation of a word or sandhi even. Okay? So the term asiddha is also used in connection with rules that have applied or operations that have taken place, which are in certain cases made invalid or invisible. That's what we are looking at. As far as their effect is concerned, and other rules are applied or other operations are allowed to take place. Therefore, Lopa Shakalyasa happened, but it is as though didn't happen for Adgunaha or Hoyavayavaha, etc. Okay? So these are the important rules of Sarasandhi. Now there is one more aspect in this Sandhis, wherein in some situations, even though there is no Siddhatvam, Sandhi will not take place. Sandhi is not allowed in some cases. That Sandhi not being allowed is called Prakriti Bhava. What is it called? Prakriti Bhava. What is Prakriti? Nature. You remain in your own nature. You don't change. That's what Prakriti Bhava means here. Okay? So there are a bunch of rules which tells you that there is Prakriti Bhava. Okay? So that I have picked one rule here for you. Okay? Sample. Pluta pragrihyaha achi nityam. Pluta pragrihyaha achi nityam. Now, let me go to the Ashtadhyay. Are you seeing the Ashtadhyay? Not yet. Now you're seeing it? Okay, good. So now let us go to 6, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, 1, 1, 15 if you go. Let me show you in the Ashtadhyay first. Okay. See this here? This is sutra I'm interested in. Prakritya antaf padam avyapare. Padam avyapare. And this is what Medha Michkachi has done. She has done a good job in, putting a page break there. And she gives you a title. Prakriti Bhavadi Prakaranam. Prakriti Bhava is the word I just used for you. Means no sandhi will take place. No euphonic changes will take place if you want to write in English. Okay? Prakriti Bhavadi Prakaranam. And that is from where the word Prakritya. The word Prakritya goes up to 130. So from 61115 to 61130 are the rules which will tell you when sandhi will not take place, when a change will not take place, even though it may be otherwise qualified for it. Seems to be qualified. There are a lot of rules here, but the word we are interested in is what? Prakritya. The word we are interested in is Prakritya. So you see, Prakritya means what? See, what is Prakritya? Tritiya ekavachanam. Prakriti. Prakritya. Okay. So Prakritya, leave other things out for now. What is of interest here? Prakritya bhavati. So Prakriti iti swabhavaha. Karanam va abhidhiyate. Prakriti is used to tell a swabhava, nature or the cause. So that here when it says Prakritya bhavati means it will remain true to its nature. It won't undergo a change. In the context of sandhi, it won't undergo a sandhi. This is clear? So the section from 6115 to 130 will talk about sandhi is not happening. Not because asiddhatvam, but because they should not take place by the language. In the language, it doesn't take place. Okay. Then I was taking you to 61125. This says Pluta pragrihyaha achi nityam. Now, what do you think? Have you heard the word Pluta? What does it mean? Yes?
3 times.
Three matras.
Yes, 3.
Three matras. Correct? Okay. Have you heard the word pragrihya? You have not. Okay. But Pluta pragrihyaha. Can you guess the number? 1, 3. What will the compound be here? Plutascha pragrihyaschcha. Many pragrihyas. Pluta pragrihyaha. Okay. When a pluta, what is pluta? A long vowel. Or what is pragrihya? We'll see. Or a pragrihya when it is followed by what? Ach. When it's immediately followed by ach, what will happen? Nityam prakritya bhavati. Means what? It will never undergo a change. Achi means what kind of sandhi? Has to be vowel sandhi. Vowel plus vowel is ach vowel sandhi. Therefore, it is telling you what? When a vowel sandhi will not take place. So when will it not take place? When a pluta or a pragrihya is followed by an ach. Is that clear? Not a very great rule for us, but sometimes it is useful to know. Okay. So now look at the, you know what pluta, one of the example of pluta is durat hute. It's so wonderful to know this, Suppose you want to call Harsha from a distance. Harsha. How will you call? You're calling him his far away. Harsha. You go to any language, okay? Suppose you have a guy by name John. How will you call him? Long distance. You don't say John. You try. Call loudly and see how you call. John. That O becomes longer or not? Pluta. When a person hawks something, they use Pluta. Typical. When you hail from a distance, Pluta. Rama. See now, suppose the word is Ramesha, Akaranta Pullinga. How will you call? Ramesha. But suppose our modern language is what? No Akaranta. It is what? Shakaranta. Then how will you call? Ramesh. You'll see the difference, okay? One who is thinking Ramesha will say Ramesha, and one who calls Ramesh will say Ramesh. That last vowel alone is extended, not the first. Not Ramesh. No. See how beautiful it is? This is a fact. You go to any language, I don't know other languages. I have seen English, Indian language, it happens. But from what I think, it's probably true of any language. Should be true. Because that's how we think and act as human beings. That is captured by Panini. And he says, Durat hute. When you call from a distance, Pluta will walk in. Okay? So, Plutavarnebhyaha Anantaram, leave this word, pragrihya now. Anantaram samhitayam swaraha vidyati chet api tatra sandhi na bhavati. Can you translate? Plutavarnebhyaha. What case? Fifth, directional. After Plutavarna, ending word, Plutavarna, Anantaram, immediately after that, Samhitayam, in a Sandhi situation, Swaraha Vidyate Chet, api, even if a Swara is there, Tatra Sandhi na bhavati. There Sandhi will not happen. Like what? Like here, Ehi Krishna, Atra Gaushcharati. Ehi Krishna. Krishna is far away, looking for cows. Cow herd, you know. Ehi Krishna, Pluta. Therefore, what? You can't say Krishnetra Gaushcharati. Ehi Krishna, Atra Gaushcharati. A plus A should have become what? Krishna. Krishnatra. Didn't happen. Why? Plutam. Okay? See that example? Hari etau. Hari. Normal Sambodhana is what? Hey Hari. Hare becomes Hare. Okay, what is this now? 1 second. Could be some other reason why it's Pluta. Hare. I don't know offhand, okay? But all I'm saying is that Pluta is happening there, very likely. No, this is not Pluta. This is another example. We'll come back. This is Pragrihya. That's why it's happening like that. Okay. So, understood the example of, see, Agacha Krishna Atra Gaushcharati. This is the Siddhanta Kaumudi example. Siddhanta Kaumudi is these two. Anything else? Let us see. Kashika. Kashika has anything else? Give me a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, Yajnadatta Idamanaya. Get this. Please bring this. Hey Yajnadatta, please bring this. Devadatta Atranuasi. I'm here. Where are you? Are you here? Or something like that. Atranuasi. Now, Pragrihyaha. What is Pragrihya? Pragrihya is a technical word. It's a technical word. Means what? It has a sandhi. If it has a sanya. In the Panini world, there will be sanya. What is Pragrihya? We don't know what is Pragrihya. Now, if you look here, our friend will help us. What is Pragrihyaha? He will tell us. So, Pragrihya Shabdanam ईदूदे द्विवचनं प्रगृह्यम् इत्यस्मात् सूत्रात् ईदूतौ च सप्तम्यर्थे एतेषु नवसूत्रेषु. Hope you're reading where I'm reading. Eteshu navasutreshu pragrihya sankhya pathita asti. What does it mean? Eet ute divachanam pragrihyam ityasmat. Ityasmat there is sandhi. Iti asmat. Equanachi. Beginning from this sutra, idude divachanam pragrihyam. Idutau cha saptamyarthe 1119. Up to that. From 1111 to 1119. Eteshu, in these Navasutreshu, in these 9 sutras, Pragrihya Sangya Pathita Asti. The Pragrihya Sangya is read, is defined. Etaihi Sutraihi Siddhaha Pragrihya Sangyakaha Varnaha. What Varna is called Pragrihya is defined in these 9 sutras. Varna or Shabda. Tasmat Agre Vidyamanena Achvarnena Sahasandhikaryam Nakaroti. So if you have any Pragrihya letter following and Pragrihya followed by Ach, Sandhi will not take place. That is the meaning of this Pluta Pragrihyaha Achinityam. Because Pragrihya we didn't cover so far. Like what? Muni Etau. How do you know, sir? Okay, we will go there and see now. What is the sutra? Eid ud e dvivachanam pragrhyam. Simple Sangya Sutra. What are the case and numbers? Idudet dvivachanam. Idudet prathama ekavachanam. Dvivachanam prathama ekavachanam. Pragrhyam prathama ekavachanam. What kind of sutra will have just only prathama words? Can't be adesha. There's no shastani, nothing. Has to be Sangya. One thing is being defined as another. So what is it now? These two you take together. Idudet dvivachanam. It is dual, dvivachanam, dual. Ending in what? E, U, A, not A, just A, okay? A, I, but it has got 2 matras, not A. A, same length as E, U, okay. So E, U, and A in a dual is called Prakrityam. So you see this now. Dvirvachanasya दीर्घ ईकारांतम दीर्घ ऊकारांतम था एकारांतम रूपम प्रगृह्य संज्ञकम भवति. Okay. Now, how did it decline Muni Shabda or Hari Shabda? Harihi, Hari, Harayaha. Nadihi, Nadi. Is it? Am I saying it right? No. What should I say? Nadi, Nadyau, Nadyaha. There is no Nadihi, Nadi. Okay. Matihi, Mati, Matayah. Dual is Mati. E is there. Pashuhu, Pashu, Pashavaha. Correct? Am I right? Okay. That is Ut example. Eat, Ut. Then what? Where is Eat? Can you give me example? Dvivachana ending in A. Yeah.
Lata, late, lataha.
Good. Lata, Late, Lata. Another example?
Rama, rame, rama.
That is not a good example. Now you'll make all akarantas. Not fun. Something else. Should be able to think. Not hard. Very simple. Elementary stuff. Think all genders. Hint.
Phalam phale phalani.
Phalam phale phalani. Correct. Neuter. All. Okay. Also, guru guruni guruni. What is happening there? Dvivachanam is what? There it won't happen. But I'm just saying, spot wherever it happens. Okay. So dvivachana. Important is dvivachana. This is one definition of the word pragrihya, not all. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, will it include Sambodhana also?
Dvivachana can't be Sambodhana. Oh, you're saying Dvivachana. Sorry, give me a second. Will it include Sambodhana? I think it would. So far, it's Dvivachana, it should be. Okay. So now, this is one definition of Pragrhyam. All right. There are many definitions, I told you. How many are there? About 9 sutras. 9 sutras are there defining Pragrhyam. This is one. One common one we should know. Because Dvivachana words come. Like we saw Hari, there, and I was caught for a minute. So I'm looking at that sutra. So we should know this Pragrhyam. Another important definition of Pragrhyam is 1117 or 18 or what? Yeah. This is another useful definition to remember, okay? Nipataha ekach anang. What is anuvritti? Pragrhyam. Definition. Definition sutras are the easiest ones for you to know in Panini's Ashtadhyayi because they're all first case. Nipataha. You don't know what is nipata right now. A nipata will be translated as a particle in English. It's a technical word in Panini's word. Pragrishvarat nipata. Huge adhikara. Nipata adhikara. But for your purposes, understand it is some avyayas. Remember, take it that way for now. Simplifying it, okay? Nipata. Ekach. What is ach? Vowel. What is ekach? What kind of samasa could it be? Bahuvrihi. What would it mean? That which has one ach. Okay? Ekaha ach yasmin will become ekach. So a nipata which has only one vowel. Excluding ang. Excluding ang. Ang is one nipata. Excluding that, any nipata which has only one vowel is getting what sanya? Pragrhyam. What is the effect of Pragrhyam? If it's followed by an ach, and if sandhi can't take place, it is denied. Okay? Ang iti varjayitva anye vyanjana virahitaha ekacha. This is extra. Vyanjana virahit, which means my ekach may be messed up. Right? I said one ach. But we have to look at what does ekach exactly mean. So we'll see now. Sorry, I jumped the gun a little. Okay. That contain only one swara and no vyanjana. This is extra, okay? Which means the samasa will have to be what? It has to have only one swara and no vyanjana, means it should be karmadharayana. It is ach and it is eka. Then it will work. Bahuri won't work. Okay, see the problem? How the samasa type will make a difference. So if we look, that will be the problem. When we go and look, we'll find it. So now you see what does Kashika do? Ekascha asau ach iti ekach. First thing is settle that. So you don't get confused anymore. Because my guess was one ach, bahurihi. But no, I was wrong. It is karmadharaya. Ekascha asau achcha iti ekach. This is the vigraha vakya for that ekach. Nipataha yaha ekach. A particle which is only one ach. Ang varjitaha. Ang, in ang, what is its letter? Don't forget its letters, okay? That's why I'm asking. Ang. What will be the its letter?
Alantyam it.
Good. So Nakara will be it. Therefore, what is remaining now? Is it Ekach or not? It is. But that is not to be included here. Okay? So निपातः एकाच आंग वर्जितः प्रग्रह संज्ञः भवति. Example, अपेहि, ई इंद्रम पश्य, उ उत्तिष्ठ. Plus a should become apehi. No. E indram should become what? Indram. Didn't become u uttishta. Didn't happen. Why? Nipataha ekach. So like this, there are a few cases where a sandhi won't be allowed. Okay, it's already time. I didn't notice. We will come back next time and finish this topic. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम. Any questions? Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, in one of the previous classes,
Mhm.
I thought there were some sutras where without the derivation, Panini had directly given the end form, and that those were called as
Nipata also. Correct. You're right. Absolutely. That is called Nipatanam. Process is called Nipatanam, but the word is not called Nipata.
okay. So this
Bhave. That is
Shaya
bhave.
jayate.
This is karmani. Nipatyate iti nipataha. Nipatanam nipataha. That's a process. See, patanam is to fall, okay? Ni is nishchayena. The word falls into place like that. That is called nipata. That is true for both this as well as the that. But this nipata, e, etc. are defined as a separate sanya. Nipatanam is a general thing which says this is how the word will be. Very good. Very, very good catch. Correct. Valid point. Yes, Bhuma, you had a question too?
Same question, Swamiti. Shaya jayate.
Okay. Correct. There I mentioned nipatyate.
No.
If you go back and look, you will find nipatyate or nipatyate. I mean, this is how the word will fall in place. But the word nipata is a technical word. It's a paribhashika shabda. Paribhasha means what? It has a definition. It's a defined word in the grammar. Okay? Because in language, I could probably have word nipata, which means he fell. That is not the meaning here. Here it has a meaning of all these. Nipata is one big section. If you go to Ashtadhyayi and look, you will find, if you just come here and look for Nipata, see this? This is, all these are talking of Nipata. So many words are there. But where is the definition? Pragrishvarat Nipata. That's very defined. And that will go from 1456 to some 14 end almost. So many rules will define what is Nipata. Upasarga is a Nipata also. So if I go there, Pragrishvara Nipataha, and if I go to the next sutra, you will see Chadayaha, Cha, etc. Okay, then what? Pradayaha, Pra, etc. So like this, so many Upasargaha, Kriya Yoga, all these will keep going on and on. And if you want to know how far it stretches, then you have to go here. Go here and look for what? What is the sutra number here? Sorry. What is the sutra number here? Where did it begin? It began with 1450. No, sorry, I went a little further up. Yeah, 56, right? 1456. Now you come to the Sutra Patha and go for 1456. Because Ashtadhyayi is not very good at giving you how long an Adhikara runs. I don't like that. One feature seems somehow missing. If you read, you'll find it, but easier if you had it handy. So you come to 1456. You see this? Nepat Sanya Prakaranam up to 98. Swamiji, one word to know, I have to know so many things. Yes, if you want to understand Nipata fully, you have to know all these sutras. And that may take you further somewhere. It's like noodles, you try to pull one noodle, you never can. They come in bunches. Okay, so this is the Paribhashika Nipata. Ragrishvara Nipata. What is Pragrishvara? If you go and look in 1498, you will know the answer. Why it is Rishvara. No? Yeah. You see this? Adhirishvare. That he didn't use the word Ishvara. He used this Rishvara. Pragrishvarat Nipata. That's what Panini did. Before this, Sutra is Nipatas. Up to and before, including this. Okay?
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yep. Anything else? So we have ground-wise, we're not covered a whole lot of ground, okay? We've gone slowly. And today in the heat of Sandhi, I forgot about examples, but we saw some examples here. So next time we'll probably remember and come back to our Mandana Mishra Samvada. It just got, when I'm involved in what I'm talking about, I forget about that. So we'll come back to it another time, okay? Anything else? We stop?